Oh, wow.
Wait,
hey, guys, we're back.
We didn't even figure out a Korean.
I did.
Who?
Korean me crazy.
Okay, let's just pause it real quick.
this okay, I was just joking. Since I was doing possible MVP candidate, we were he actually wasn't gonna be here for these videos because he's like, hey, I need you over because I need your expertise on League. So I wanted to choose a possible MVP that wasn't the generic ones like Sven, Sneaky, and Double Live. So it was between Bang and Piglet.
Wait, what? Oh, that's the video we're doing?
And he was like, hey, we're going to choose Piglet or I'm not going to give you a ride home.
I did not say that.
Possible. But yeah, it's just weird. So I end up, this is my series. I get to make the rules because I'm in charge.
I didn't even pick anybody yet. I didn't know we were doing this video. So
we're doing a possible MVP. We'll do both. Bang or Piglet. This will be kind of a special kind of for the thing. I'll do the support.
If we're gonna talk about ADCs, you really think I'm a
Bang or Piglet?
I mean,
they're both former SKT ADCs. Okay, they have in common.
I want to go on a limb and say that I think in most likely case that Piglet won't make it because, like, honestly, saying he's gonna show up from beginning to end is really unlikely.
We've seen it before.
I've seen it happen, but it's in recency. I would have to say it probably won't. But I do think he has the potential to do it. But if I would like to, I don't know if we're gonna see it
because like MVP means you're the most valuable player to your teams in terms of leading your team in a certain aspect. Not necessarily leadership, like it's basically your way of playing is so valuable that if you were on another team and if that team didn't have you, you would just not be good in general.
I guess we can tackle the Piglet thing first since I apparently we're doing those two. So yeah, good job. So let's
He's been gone because he broke his computer.
I actually have broke my computer, and then he said, hey, I'm just going to take over the channel for a month, and just did videos by himself, so. Alright, so.
Permission.
Okay, so, essentially what's happening is I think Piglet is in a spot where he has, for the first time, I think he has a good team around him. I think that his only other good team was the first season in which he came onto Team Liquid, and, like, the second split after that, when they had I Will Dominate, Quas, X Special, and even and Phoenix. Phoenix was on point. X Special was still pretty bad. Quas was pretty above average, and then I Will Dominate was probably the best jungler in the league at that point. So we're in a situation where I think that was the one like split I would say that I think that Piglet was on a good team, and even then they didn't have a leader around them, so their shot calling was pretty terrible.
Now this time he's got. Yeah, Huni was leading Echo Fox for a majority of the
We got
year.
Lyra, and honestly, I'm gonna put on paper this is recently one of the most mediocre teams in existence, but we all know how much potential this entire team has, so I'm going to put it out there.
Right now, highest they could possibly get is 3rd.
I disagree with that completely. I think they are either 8th place or 1st, because these are just ridiculously, what are you going to get from these players type of players? We don't know.
Because, like, but does Piglet have the same MVP qualities that the other ADCs that have won it has? Like, Double Lift had his MVP and Arrow won it.
I'm gonna say in terms of pop-up potential, he might actually have one of the most in, like, the second most in the league in terms of him and Bang. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna say in terms of consistency is something he's been kind of struggling with that recently. Obviously,
was that only solely due to the team?
It's been mostly due to the team, but another thing, even when he came onto the team with Vulcan, I think that he kind of underperformed. I will put a lot of it on Vulcan too, but he did not play to his capabilities. I think that it's a big thing that he has where he's not what's it called? He's what's the word? He is really mentally unstable in terms of if he gets off to a bad start. I think that he needs to get over that hump, and I think he's capable of it. I watch his stream a lot. I do probably too much, honestly, but he doesn't stream often. But when he does, he has. I'd say he definitely tilts in solo queue constantly. Like, he has to get over that, I would say. I think he has the work. Oh my god.
English can't do you today.
Shut your mouth. Work ethic. He has one of the best work ethics.
You're terrible.
It's essentially the slandering came from when Dardoch said that he was essentially not practicing when they went to Korea, but like
it was that whole Team Liquid breakdown video. Yeah, they went to Korea boot camp to play against Korean teams to do better in the summer split. Piglet will go visit his sister. While they were screaming, and Dark did not like that.
Essentially, he'd been practicing. He had like the most solo queue games out of everybody, and then he doesn't see his sister and mom, who essentially he's a big mama's boy. I'll tell you this right now. If you watch any of his videos, he had not seen her for about a year. So he's like, hey, I'm going to go visit my family that I haven't seen forever. And Dardoch, with his complete, like, back in the day, I think Dardoch was the most obnoxious player, in my opinion. I think he's got over it, but he just couldn't, I guess he couldn't handle that. And this should have been one of the best duos on these jungle ADC. It just didn't work out because of their personalities. But he has an amazing work ethic. Can I just not say that word? We're gonna skip that word.
That word should elude you today.
Oh my god, you actually just said an even worse thing than I did. You used that. That was no word. I mean, it is a word, but not in that aspect.
You can't speak English.
I guess not, man. I just drank too much Red Bull. So great work ethic. Great. Honestly, I think in terms of potential, his pop-off potential, it's the second highest or the highest in the league. Consistency is something I need to see. I need to see him come back to form and consistently be on form.
I think he's consistently good when the team is good.
I would, honestly, in terms of when he's been on a good team, if anybody remembers his first split, he kind of struggled in the first split. He got replaced with Keith. And then by the end of the split, I would say he was the single best ADC in the league. By the time at the end of the split,
they just didn't make the finals. That was all.
I
think this Cloud9 was just a bad matchup for them in general.
I mean, honestly, he popped off in that you saw him completely destroying them, and they just kind of fell apart towards the end because they got on aggro.
Well, if they had faced TSM, I think they could have possibly beaten them.
I mean, I think in terms of that year, I still think that. Yeah, I think
TSM was really not that good that year in general.
I mean, neither one of them were good. NA was just in general bad, but I think that Cloud9's kind of strong point was focusing on macro, and if they faced TSM, who didn't focus on macro, more so as strength and laning, I feel like they would have just smashed them. But they lost.
I still don't understand how Team Liquid lost to TSM in the summer. That didn't make any sense.
I don't think they're obviously after a loss, that team was it broke apart. So
what's the same difference about this team?
What the thing about this team? Obviously, I'm gonna again say that most likely case is he doesn't make MVP. I want to say that just in case, but I want to put out the capabilities he has. I think he's in a situation where if all of these team members perform, which is slightly unlikely, pretty decently unlikely, if they do perform, I think he can be think he can be the most consistent, not consistent, most valuable player on this team. I think
because you factor in there's other MVP candidates on this team too.
I think there's 3 ridiculously high skill ceiling players on this team in Lyra, Huni, and Piglet.
Huni's definitely MVP. Yeah. Now I could see Piglet getting the NA LCS All Pro ADC first place.
I could easily see him being the best player on this team if they all perform to their capabilities. But the problem is the likelihood of Lyra, who's been pretty bad for a bit, and Huni, who underperformed extremely hard last split, and Piglet, who hasn't been playing, the likelihood of this happening is
that's the problem. Some of the games he actually played on stage, one of them he didn't look like he was even comparable of being on stage. That looked horrifying.
Yeah, but I think that he has the capabilities. I want to put that out there. And if you've watched his Academy ADC, he was extremely good. But
I don't know where people say he was middle of the pack.
Because anybody who didn't watch Academy looked at stats, and that's why they get that. Anybody who says that they weren't watching. But
now, Bang is different. Bang was consistently really good on a team that was never competitive in SKT last year. It was either him and Faker I had to carry. We saw Bang just play incredibly well in general. But the problem with MVP is that, you have to, what can he, is he more valuable than, let's say, Sunday, Huhi, Aframu? Stuff like that.
I'm gonna put this out there.
What qualities can he bring more valuable than his other teammates?
More valuable than we're talking about specifically ADCs.
And if we're going about Sunday is more valuable in terms of carry potential than Bang is. Maybe.
I don't know about that. I would have to see. Even? I think they're gonna put Bang someday on tanks, why I won't say. No, it's realistic. Now they have good players, then he's a good tank player. So I'm not upset. When they did it at Worlds, when they had nobody good on the team, I was like, what are you doing? But I think they have 2 other good players on this team, so I can respect that they put him on tanks more often now.
I can see him being on Ezreal duty all split long.
Ezreal duty on someday. Wow, that would be ridiculous.
We're talking about ADCs.
He can build an Iceborne, so he's slightly tanky.
I can see Bang be on Ezreal duty all split long.
I think I could Ezreal's in a really good spot with his W.
Bang always played Ezreal. That was his thing.
Well, he's a great Lucian. I'm telling you right now.
Here's the problem. Who's more flexible in terms of Bang and Piglet?
I think that Piglet more so.
Like in a drafting phase, who would like if your priority? If you had these players on your team, who would you prioritize more?
I think that Bang has the ability to play utility ADCs better. I'll give him that. I think that Bang in terms of...
I should have asked, who would be most likely to get, like, the counter pickup based off the strengths of a player?
Okay, the thing about it is, we'll put this out there, I think that mid lane is a priority more so on what's it called? 100 Thieves than it is on Team Liquid. I think that top, obviously, is a gigantic priority. Probably if you don't prioritize him, I swear. Man, he just doesn't. So I'm going to put this out there. I don't think he's going to prioritize him because he hasn't all year. So it's most likely going to go to Bang. Bang is going to have the most priority, or so is if Clutch Gaming, if they obviously this has to be a perfect situation. So if they're all performing, it's going to go to Lyra and Huni. And we know this. And then Piglet's not going to get a counter matchup, but the thing about it is,
I feel like they would give him a lot of the counter matchups, though.
The thing about it is, counter matchups don't matter for ADCs. A laning phase...
Some do.
Very few of them.
Like, I would say if he's on, like, Caitlyn or Xayah or Lucian, that would make more sense.
Xayah doesn't counter matchup anybody. She's just good.
Or Varus.
Varus is just safe again. I don't think he really... Like, he just has good range.
Like, if you had Caitlyn and Lucian... or Draven, I can see Bang picking him. I've never really seen him play Draven competitively.
I'm just saying, if like in terms of this, it's all going to depend on the support. Like just who gets the counter matchup.
Piglet playing Draven.
So I'm gonna say that in terms of that, I really have high hopes for Vulcan. I want to put that out there. I think he underperforms, but I think he can be a top tier support in NA.
And my possible MVP for support.
I'm not surprised. I doubt that, but I think he could be a very solid support. But realistically,
I think that if it's possible for both players, it's really gonna depend on how both teams do well.
If we're gonna say who's most likely, I'm gonna put it out as Bang. As much as I like, as much as I love Piglet, I think that Piglet is in a situation where he's on a really inconsistent team, and he's been a little bit inconsistent himself. So
like Bang was struggling in Korea on SKT.
It wasn't even struggling. That was the thing.
He was actually pretty consistent. He got more MVP votes than even Faker did.
I didn't really want to, like, again, I don't think even Piglet's the second most likely. I just felt like he was an honorable mention because he has the potential, and I think that if the situation pops up, we can see a superstar come. But, like, if we're going to put out the most likely candidates, it's going to be Doublelift, Sven, and Bang. Those are going to be three most likely, and I'm put Bang above all of them.
Oh, that's what I'm going to say. The reason why I didn't choose Doublelift or Sneaky or Sven is because those are going to be just generic choices. I just wanted to choose some people different.
I wanted to put Bang. Obviously, Bang is most likely. I think he's going to be the most likely, but... And then,
I could... Out of all the picks I put up so far, I could honestly see Bang being the MVP, actually.
Yeah, but I do want to say that if it's going to be in terms of... I wanted to throw a surprise pick in there, honestly, because Piglet... I feel like he's kind of getting maliciously bullied on this at this point on Reddit.
Oh my God, it's horrifying.
No, it's like most of them don't watch the actual academy.
Most of them didn't watch 2015.
It's like saying.
Well, to be fair, a lot of people did come toward the end of season 5.
It's most of them saying that he's gonna be replaced by Cody-san by the end of that. If
that's not the most impossible thing, though.
I think it's unlikely. I think that him performing worse than Cody-san is extremely unlikely. If anybody's actually see, most of them catch him during his season. Like, towards the end of his Season 7 and all that stuff days.
Oh, the Team Liquid time.
I just, like... It's unlikely that he doesn't... Like, but I will say that inconsistency is a plague for him. So if he doesn't perform to his best capabilities, then it's possible.
It wouldn't surprise me if they were, like, one week, hey, we're switching out our bot lane to try it out.
You do that, Piglet's done. I promise you, if they need to realize that. If they switch out Piglet at all, he is mentally done, and you're not going to get him back. He's not capable of that.
Him and Vulcan start underperforming. Hey guys, we just want to announce on our Reddit page that Piglet and Vulcan are gonna sit out for like like week 7 or 6, and then Cody-san and Papa Chow coming in.
Papa Chow.
And then they go
I think it's Chow. Is it Chow?
And then they go 0-2. Piglet and Vulcan are back in.
I think that'd
be really funny.
Like
I can see it happen. Yeah. Putting out there, I could definitely see that happening. If Piglet and Vulcan start underperforming. If it's like consistently, and then they lose to like Cloud9, TSM, and like Team Liquid.
If anybody underperforms, they're gonna get replaced by their academy. Come on.
No, it's like but it has to be consistent.
Yeah, what I'm saying is I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm gonna put that out there. I think everybody who says that it's gonna happen just hasn't watched Piglet recently. I still think he's a solid ADC, and anybody's seen they saw his 2 or 3 games on the stage, and we're like, wow, he's just not gonna perform well.
Oh, What about the games he had when they had their academy finals against FlyQuest? He played those, didn't he?
Of course he did.
I know, but like I just didn't see the same like. That's technically the most recent competitive game.
I think that more so in terms of that best of 5, I think they got completely outdrafted. I'm gonna put that out there. I think the drafting phase.
Moon played Evelyn game 5.
Yeah. That's
what happened.
Yeah, Moon for some reason when he's in the Academy League looks just like a completely different player.
He likes to play Evelyn in clutch situations. That
I remember him on the Academy League for the Challenger scene for Cloud9, and he looked like the single best player in the whole scene. And then he just does it. Like he looks ridiculous in the Academy scene for some reason. Just yeah, he does.
I never thought he was bad. I just think like
Moon.
If it's like game 5, I don't think you need to be pulling out pocket picks in game 5.
Who are you talking about now? Moon or who?
Oh no, just like that. Just
wait, what player?
But like
what player are we talking about?
Those were the last games of games I saw Piglet, and I didn't see I didn't really see an LCS caliber ADC.
No, I'm not gonna agree with that at all. LCS caliber is ridiculous. I don't think he's ever performed to the situation where
he looked like a lower team LCS ADC.
I still don't agree with that. He was middle of the pack in that finals. I don't think he played well, but I also think that
he completely beat. Against his opponent, he was winning more. Or
I'm
less.
Gonna say
he wasn't really losing.
I'm gonna say that the reason that they underperformed is because that Academy team was complete suck. That Academy.
He had Moon, Piglet, Vulcan.
What's up?
Who's the mid laner? Doesn't even matter at this point.
What I'm saying is.
Draft phase really beat him up.
What I'm saying is, Moon completely plays like a monster in the Academy League, but like it just doesn't make sense to me, honestly. I get that, and I get that he plays well, but don't prioritize him constantly. But I want to say that I guess that's why they did. He does play well in the Academy. I'm gonna give it to him, but for the most part, I think that the other two were so bad in the Academy that I can't imagine them winning. Like, I just feel like they had an extremely terrible team all around for the most part.
They couldn't play through mid. You can't play through top.
Like, I want to...
Their jungler was so volatile.
But you see, like, the single best bot lane in the Academy League, if anybody watched, was Piglet and Vulcan. I think that Vulcan's been pretty solid for the most part. And I know we're going over in terms of... Like, I think we went over Piglet a little bit too much in terms of who I think is going to be Academy.
You have factor in Bang's going to have Afromer with them.
I think that Bang is 100% good. Like, if we're going to talk about
if
ADCs...
just set up 2v2, Bang and Afromer would probably win 8 out of 10 times they play.
I don't know about that. That's a bit of a stretch.
7 out of 10 times.
I think 8 out of 10 is likely because of the fact that we don't know how good these two are going to play in the Academy.
Because they're going to play twice.
But I just think that in terms of like how much each player is capable, if you've seen Vulcan and Piglet play, I think they're very much capable to go against anybody. Mm-hmm. But if in terms of what I think, Vulcan obviously chokes on this. Like, he looked really bad when he came to the LCS.
Yeah,
and in the playoffs,
they just didn't look like they belonged on a stage anymore.
And in the playoffs during the Academy scene, he looked kind of bad. So I'm a little worried about that. Mm-hmm. I'm a little bit worried about what he's gonna do.
But I think, but Bang performed with the new guy too in effort.
Effort was just good.
Yeah. But now Bang's going to have Afromu. Communication is going to be harder for Bang with Afromu because this is the first year they'll be playing together. Piglet's had Vulcan for an entire year. Now they can build synergy together.
Again, Piglet most likely not going to get it, but I just wanted to put him out there.
I can see Bang definitely getting it.
Because I feel like he's a little bit underrepresented on the scene right now because a lot of people just talk down to him.
And that can come full circle. Yeah. So today I just want to do a special possible MVP for ADC.
Did we really tackle Bang enough, you think?
I think we did. I mean, Bang is consistent. He can carry games. He's carried... it's carrying on utility is hard because you have to, engage. You have to make sure you're playing safe. His CS is fine. He's... What? What is it else he did? I forgot things he did. He was a world champion.
I mean, he had one of the single most impressive ADC performance of all time on Lucian during the single most impressive game of all time on an ADC.
You have just a great player.
What was that game
against Fnatic?
No, it wasn't against. It was a LCK game.
It was an LCK game.
I'll tell you exactly. It's just if you type.
But he did play that Lucian against Fnatic was amazing too.
I think it was.
Oh, you have internet right now.
What is wrong with my internet? Actually, it won't let me type in stuff.
Be careful.
Do I have internet? Okay, there we go. No. I'm gonna tell you, CJ Ensis. It was Game 4, Round 2 in 2015.
That game was. Go back and watch that game. That game was actually
you know
amazing.
what? I'm gonna link that in the description because I think that anybody who was ever
who's actually a Bang fan.
No, not just a Bang fan, just a league fan in general.
If you're a CJ Entis and SKT was like the.
But this is a highlight. I don't want to see this. I want to see the actual.
Well, I mean, you can link them that.
No,
that'd be fine.
No, they need to see the actual game.
Anybody? Well, if anybody knows about CJ Entis and SKT, that was like your Cloud9 versus TSM type-ish match. CLG TSM El Clasico, as they call it.
That was just weird. What did you just do?
El Clasico. You know what El Clasico is? He's a younger fella. He's a.
I just don't know why you just made that noise.
but yeah, if you're just a Bang fan, that should show you that if you're a 100 Thieves fan, man, you should be happy you have that player on your team.
But I want to put this out there: if anybody, if anybody doubts Piglet, obviously you have the right to. He has been underperforming, but again, I want people to realize his capabilities.
He's not worse than the ADCs at the bottom of the list where I put.
I think he could easily be a top tier, but again, he could also be he is the single most self-destructive ADC in the league.
Mm-hmm.
But Bang on the other hand, he is. I think he could easily. I honestly can make an argument that he's going to be the single best player, most likely. I think he might. I really think it's going to happen. I really think Bang has the capabilities to be the single best carry in the entire league. But my worry is 100% going to be based off of his communication issues. That's going to be pretty much it. If anybody has any sort of trash talk to put against Piglet, don't put it in the comment section.
Let us know your possible ADC MVP. Like we said, I didn't go with generic ones because, people expect them anyway.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of just want to switch it up. Tomorrow, I'll be doing my possible support. I'm still deciding on it, actually. I think I have it, and it's pretty obvious who I'm going to choose, but...
He's going to not answer my question so he could do it by himself. He's gonna ignore my texts.
You got lucky today to be in this.
I appreciate on my channel.
You said it was mine too.
I did, but when
I
you
take
the fact is you're disregarding me now. So
God,
I'll say that. But if you have
rides home, I have to be nice to him.
Yeah. If you guys have any trash talk for Piglet in the comment section, just don't leave it because I'm not emotionally stable enough.
Someone asked about our mid lane rankings. They are coming up, but mid lane is really really hard. So
we actually put it up once, and then I was
like garbage. Delete.
My
arguments were good. He was like, I was too tired that night to do it.
Shut your mouth.
But yeah, the mid lane rankings are coming up. So and then after that, it's gonna be the actual NALCS power rankings. For Korea, we're just gonna do top 6. For EU, we'll just pick teams that we think will win the split because we don't really know those players. So I don't know about China. No, China will do the same thing too. China will be who will win RNG, IG. He thinks Top will probably win the split.
I didn't say Top will win the split. No, I said they're gonna be a good team.
Possible to win the split though.
I think the most underappreciated team coming into the split. Anybody who didn't hype them up in the top 3. Just didn't watch these players in general.
TSM!
Okay, no. I'm ending it now.
Sorry guys, like, comment, subscribe, most of all enjoy.
Don't
Insight from Merds signing out.
Insight from Merds. Don't ever say that again.